Boy, that's a long chord. Good afternoon and welcome to Muskegon Rotary. My name is Tim Arter and I have the pleasure of serving you as your president this year. Today's program will be West Michigan Shoreline Regional Development Commission celebrating 55 years of service to West Michigan. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a reflection from Heidi Seitzema. Then later on in the meeting, we will recite the four-way test. At this time, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I'll be sharing a blessing today, adapted from words written by Sister Ruth Marlene Fox. She passed away in 2023, but in the mid-'80s, she was asked to give the prayer at a graduation breakfast for North Dakota's Dickinson State University. Go Blue Hawks. Did someone know that? Where she served as the chaplain. These words, I've kept a printout of it at my desk for a long time since I first learned it, so it might be familiar to some as well. A non-traditional blessing. May we be blessed with discontent, with easy answers, with half-truths, superficial relationships, so that we will live from deep within our hearts. May we be blessed with anger at injustice, oppression, abuse, and exploitation of people, so that we will work for justice, equality, and peace. May we be blessed with tears, to shed for those who suffer from pain, rejection, starvation, and war, so that we will reach out our hand to comfort them and to change their pain to joy. And may we be blessed with the foolishness to think that we can make a difference in this world, so that we will do the things which others tell us cannot be done. Thank you.
Very nice, Heidi. At this time, you can return to your seats and enjoy your lunch. We'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, at this time, excuse me, at this time, would Rotarians and bring their guests that they're attending to today, and any visiting Rotarians, please come forward.
Hi, everybody. Erin Kuhn from the West Michigan Shoreline Regional Development Commission. I have here our finance manager, Amanda Snyder.
Hi, everyone. I'm Heidi Seitzema, and I have the delightful and whip-smart Janelle Mayer with me today, which is my colleague, Vice President of Community Investment at the Community Foundation. And we have been work besties for like almost 15 years now, so glad to have her here today.
Get over here. You got to get, Vogus will yell at us. Roger Morgenstern here again with me this week is Greg Borgman. It was a close vote, but earlier this week the Rotary Board did approve. Actually, we had to do a roll call, as I recall. Greg is going to be a new member and will be a full-fledged member soon. Welcome, Greg Borgman.
Melissa Moore with Reed Muskegon, and my guest today is Anna Mae Lathrop. I first met Anna Mae when she was a participant in Reed Muskegon's program for women who were incarcerated. But since then, she has become a leader in the Reed Muskegon Literacy Collaborative and some of our initiatives. She shared her story. Some of you may have heard it. Very inspirational. Recently went with me to Lansing to advocate for adult education. And as we were there, started asking me about the connection between recovery or people in addiction and low literacy, which I didn't really know about. But Anna Mae is now a certified recovery coach, and it's something she's thought about. So I went home, did some research, and wouldn't you know, really strong connection between addiction and low literacy. So we will now be looking to her to help lead our way in doing some work around that. So please help me welcome Anna Mae.
Kat Hyder here with Catchmark Technologies, and I have my friend Sarah Ayers here with New York Life. So Sarah was a graduate at Mona Shores, and she now lives over in Grand Rapids with her husband and 4 kids, and she's looking to get her feelies out in Muskegon area and connect with some local businesses.
Good afternoon, Rotary. Oh, thank you. That was for you, hon. All right, the theme is delightful and whip smart, and wait till you hear about our guests from Whitehall High School. To introduce 2 of their seniors is Carrie Goodrich. She is a counselor at the school.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us. So yes, I already said Whitehall High School. I've been a counselor there for about 30 years. So we're getting ready to move on out. So maybe I'll be meeting some of you eventually. I have 2 amazing seniors with me today, and I'll let them introduce themselves and kind of tell you what their plans are for after high school.
Thank you. My name is Ryan Goodrich. Yes, I'm her son. I'm a senior at Whitehall High School. I've played 3 sports throughout high school, football, and I wrestle, and I play baseball as well. In my school, I'm a president of our National Honor Society Club and our Business Professionals of America Club. I've also been involved in our Link Crew mentorship in the Hope Squad at Whitehall. And I've been a part of Law Day, so some of you may have seen me around here presenting speeches. My plans for next year is to attend the University of Pennsylvania and major in politics, philosophy, and economics, and I'll concentrate in behavioral economics.
Hello, I'm Megan Latre. I'm a senior at Whitehall High School. I participate in softball, volleyball, and basketball, as well as National History Day, robotics, Civil Air Patrol, NHS. I'm the president of Student Council, Link, and I'm pursuing my private pilot's license. After high school, I plan to study aeronautical engineering, hopefully at the Air Force Academy. I'm still waiting for an answer from them.
Wow. At this time, I'm going to call upon Arn Bozart to introduce today's program.
Hello, everyone. Arn Bozart here. It's my pleasure to introduce our fellow Rotarian and speaker today, Erin Kuhn. You saw her briefly a moment ago with her associate. But Erin is going to give us an overview of her long history with the West Michigan Shoreline Regional Development Commission, which is a local, state, and federally designated regional planning and development agency that administers programs in transportation, economic development, environmental planning, local government services. In a word, essentially, federal funding of many different kinds and for many different purposes has flowed through Erin's agency for a long, long time, an often unknown and not well understood aspect of our community infrastructure, but a truly very important one. Erin has been with the agency for more than 25 years, works as working in economic development, local government service programs, and became the executive director in 2014, so about 11 years ago. Erin is a governor appointee and vice chair of the Michigan Infrastructure Council and serves on several of the council's committees, including chairperson of the Asset Management, Education, and Training Committee. She's past president of the Michigan Association of Regions and chaired the West Michigan Prosperity Alliance. If you wonder why I don't see Erin around much, this explains it. She's on the road in Lansing and elsewhere much of the time. Locally, Erin serves as chair of the United Way of the Lakeshore Board of Directors, is a member of the Muskegon Rotary Club, of course, and a former Lakeshore Athena Award nominee, and involved with the Muskegon Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce, agent of change. Erin was born and raised in West Michigan, earned degrees from Muskegon Community College, MCC, and Grand Valley University. They're Laker for a lifetime. She currently lives in the city of Norton Shores with her entrepreneur husband and 3 children. And I can say personally, from my own work experience, I have known Erin a long time, and we are very, very fortunate to have her at the head of this important regional organization. Erin.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? Good? Awesome. Great. I'm so excited to be here. It's been a long time since I have been in front of you talking about our organization and what we do. So this year we are celebrating 55 years in the community. We actually were hoping to celebrate 50 years 5 years ago, but y'all kind of know what happened then, and that curbed a bunch of our plans. So we are taking the opportunity to celebrate 55 years. If I could have my first slide, please. So we are the West Michigan Shoreline Regional Development Commission, which is a mouthful. Most of us know us by our acronym, and that is WMSRDC. So if you hear that, that's what we are. It's not a bad word, I promise. So yes, we are a local, state, and federally designated regional planning agency, which to most people doesn't mean anything. They still have no idea what that is. But we have been around since 1970, and this is our enabling legislation that created us. We were created by our local units of government within our region. We are sustained by our local units of government within our region, and we are governed by our local units of government within our region. We, during our 50th anniversary as a staff, went through a process of really identifying, what we do and why we do it. I'm not going to read through this, but this is really our mission and our passion. Our staff are from West Michigan. We live in West Michigan, and we want to make sure through regional planning and the efforts that we do within our agency that we're making the greatest impact we can within our region. We have a 21-member board, which is a lot, but it's a great board. So, and I know some of you are out there. So if I have current board members here, can you please stand up? Great. And then could I have any, because I know there's a lot of them out there as well, any former board members? Out there. Great. Thank you for your service on the WMSRDC board. So as Arn mentioned, we have several programs that we administer. Transportation, and there's several programs underneath transportation. We have the Metropolitan Transportation Planning Organization, which is a designation that we have. We have a regional program and a rural program that covers all 5 of our counties. So we do work in 5 counties: Lake, Mason, Muskegon, Newaygo, and Oceana. And these are our major programs. And then I'll talk a little bit more specifically about each one of those programs. So in transportation, through the MPO program, that's the Metropolitan Transportation Planning Organization, the urbanized boundaries are defined every 10 years based on the census. And once you reach a certain threshold of population density, you become what's called an MPO. So that means through the federal transportation bill, dollars are allocated to the state of Michigan and then to each one of these urbanized areas, the MPO. And we help do the administrative work that unlocks those dollars for our local communities. So on average, we help program about $30 million of transportation construction projects that happen within our region. And that is Muskegon County and Northern Ottawa County. So that is something we do every year. We update we're required to have a long-range transportation plan and then a transportation improvement program, which is about 4 years of funding that is guaranteed to happen throughout the course of that program. We also have a rural program. Through that rural program, and that covers all 5 of our counties, it's a smaller amount, but we help program between $1 and $3 million annually. And that typically goes to the road commissions, the cities within our 5 counties, and any transportation agencies, any transit agencies, any organizations that receive federal dollars. So vehicles, Age-Well Services, Pioneer Resources, those agencies that have fleet vehicles that receive federal funding that has to go through our program as well. Another program that we do, that we've been doing for over 10 years now, over 20 years now, is an asset management program where we go out and we drive every federal aid eligible mile of road within our 5 counties. Last year alone, we drove over 3,100 miles. And we rate those roads on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being a newly constructed road, 1 being a road that is absolutely failing. And throughout the 20 years we've been doing that, we know an awful lot about our roads. We know what needs to happen to bring a road from a 3 to a 7, and how much that costs per mile. And as we program these $30 million every year, our transportation agencies are working together to figure out which roads need what type of improvement to stretch those limited dollars that we have as far as we possibly can. So there is data, there is science behind what we're doing. So when the orange barrels come out, which will be happening very soon, I'm sorry, there's a lot of work that has gone into what is happening and where that's happening and why it's happening. And then you may have heard the Clean Air Action Program. And that's the little jingle, do your share for cleaner air. I'm not going to sing because you don't want me to sing. That you hear on the radio, on streaming services, on TV, that comes through our program as well. So we are in what's called an air quality non-attainment area. And most of that is because of transport that comes over the lake to our community. And therefore, the air quality monitors that are placed here through EPA go off, and we receive federal dollars to help put out the word on how to voluntarily bring down those levels and what we can do locally. That includes not gassing up your car till later in the day, maybe waiting another day to mow your lawn, taking the bus, doing ride sharing, connecting trips so you're not turning your car on and off a lot throughout the day. So there's a lot of different voluntary actions that you can take. And so that's the major program that we do. Another program is traffic counts. And this is very important to the business community. So we go out and you'll see those little black strips across the road that are counting how many cars are going over through intersections and down the road. That's also us. And that helps us with trip generations. Again, it helps us working with the Michigan Department of Transportation and Federal Highway Administration on doing transportation modeling and, again, the dollars that come into our community. Economic development. We have been through the U.S. Department of Commerce Economic Development Administration, we were designated in 1973 as an economic development district. Since then, we have been preparing what's called a comprehensive economic development strategy. That document makes our communities eligible to receive federal EDA funds. Nearly all of the industrial parks within our 5-county region were created through this program. So you can think of all of the businesses that are located in the industrial parks, how many people are employed within those industrial parks. That wouldn't have happened. Those dollars wouldn't have come in here without us doing what we do to make those communities eligible. And it funds public infrastructure in the industrial parks. So the roads, the water, the sewer, and the land within those industrial parks to make that eligible. Other activities under this program, so the MCC Stura Center, that when it was constructed received an EDA grant. It was, I want to say about $5.2 million, the largest grant in the country that year through EDA. And that came right to Muskegon because of the work that we do to make our communities eligible for these dollars. And many other, so West Shore Community College has also done upgrades to their tech center. Wastewater facilities, the city of Hart right now is receiving their third EDA grant to do expansion of their wastewater facilities there. So those are some of the things we do. Another program that we're really excited about is we last year went through a national competition to and we were successful in having an Economic Recovery Corps fellow placed with our organization. We are a host organization. It was a national competition. They placed 62 fellows across the country. We received one. She is here to help us look at our ag and food processing sector and advance that cluster that we have. It's a natural cluster we have here. We are second to the state of California in the specialty crops that we grow. Here in West Michigan, we have abundance of fresh water. We have a lot of infrastructure capacity within this area, and we just see it as an untapped potential for our West Michigan. And we're really excited to have her here. She's here for 30 months. She's about halfway through her fellowship. On the environmental side, this is probably where you've heard of us the most. We've done a lot of work in Muskegon Lake to help delist that lake as an area of concern. Through that process, there's been $112 million that have come into the community to clean up Muskegon Lake, to delist it as an area of concern. There were 9 what's called beneficial use impairments that were identified through the Muskegon Lake Watershed Partnership and our state and federal partners. And those are benchmarks that we had to meet. And these dollars helped us meet those benchmarks to delist Muskegon Lake. We have officially met all of those 9 beneficial use impairments, and we are waiting on the federal government to make the announcement that we are officially delisted. We hope that will happen very soon this year. Fingers crossed. It takes a while for the federal government to go through that process and identify that. But throughout that process, there's been 84 acres of wetlands restored on Muskegon Lake, 5 miles of shoreline restoration and softening that has happened, 125 acres of fill and mill debris has been removed, and then 51 acres of open water wetlands have been restored. Thank you. And we did an economic analysis on that of what's our return on investment for these federal dollars that have come in. We think it's a low estimate. We partnered with Grand Valley State University to do the economic impact, and they've updated it a couple of times, but that return on investment is at 6 to 1. And we're very excited about that. Something else you might know about is the microforest that was planted this spring in the city of Muskegon. We we were the fiduciary for the grants that came in for that. Amanda, our finance manager, helped manage the dollars for that program. And that was very successful, and we were excited to be a part of that. Some other environmental projects that we work on throughout the region is road stream crossing improvements, the Marshville Dam up in Oceana County. It was a remnant. The dam had failed several years ago, so we were able to secure federal dollars, came in, removed the remnants, replaced a bridge and some culverts that were over there, and did some stream bank restoration. We had a lot of partners that we worked with throughout that project, and that's another very successful project that we're excited about. On the local government services side, so we have 120 local units of government within our region that we serve. So we help them with master plans and recreation planning and other types of special projects. One thing that we're just getting started with at the state level, those of you who are familiar with solid waste management plans, not real exciting stuff, but every garbage got to go somewhere. So the state last year updated the legislation for solid waste management plans and have now moved into material management planning. So basically, the focus is really about diverting our waste into landfills and how can we recycle, compost, and just manage our waste differently. So we're working with all 5 of our counties. They've come together and are doing one joint materials management plan, and they've named our agency as their designated planning agency. So we're facilitating that process. We're just getting underway with that. The plan has to be completed by July of 2027. So we've got a little bit of time, but in the world of planning, that's really not a lot of time. So we're working on that. Some other plans that we've worked on has hazard mitigation planning for each of the counties. It's a federal requirement. So if we have a natural disaster that happens and a federal disaster is declared within a community, you have to have a county level hazard mitigation plan to be eligible for FEMA dollars, emergency dollars within your community. So we've worked with the counties to help maintain those hazard mitigation plans and that eligibility in case a natural disaster happens within our communities. And then infrastructure asset management. This is something as Arn mentioned, I sit on the Michigan Infrastructure Council. And back in the Snyder administration, when we had the Flint water crisis, we had some major weather events that washed out a lot of brand new culverts that happened, and there was a lot of flooding. The administration at that time realized that our infrastructure, our underground infrastructure, is failing. and we need to do something about it. So he formed, through a series of steps, the Michigan Infrastructure Council. I've been on the council since its inception, working to educate, to help prioritize and bring awareness to how we manage our infrastructure, and then provide tools and education to the local infrastructure owners on how to better manage the infrastructure. And when you think about it, you turn on your water, you get up in the morning, you take a shower, you flush your toilet, you turn on your electricity. You don't think about where that's coming from until it's not working anymore. Much of that infrastructure has been in the ground for 80 to over 100 years, and many communities aren't even sure where that infrastructure is. So we, as a council, are really working with our local units of government to provide tools to help them, again, better manage their infrastructure and identify how to stretch the very limited dollars that are available for those improvements and make sure they're going in the right place at the right time. We also do what's called GIS, Geographic Information Services, and it's more of a mapping tool, data analysis. So we use that for our internal programs, but we also have been working with communities to help map their cemeteries. That's one of the big things that we've been doing. It's kind of a historical tourism kind of thing, but communities, we've worked with some communities outside of Muskegon County mostly, that they had a fire in their township hall and lost all their records from their cemetery. So they want to, build those records back up, get them digitized, and just to make sure that it's protected. And so we put that on our website, host that for them. Anybody can go in and see a picture of their loved one's headstone. There's information that can be attached to that. But those are some of the types of mapping that we do. We're in the process, we're talking with the White Lake area right now on mapping and doing kind of story mapping for their trail and art around their trail, around the library there. So those are some of the things that we do. And then I already talked about the Economic Recovery Corps program and the Michigan Infrastructure Council. We do a lot to get the word out regarding what's happening locally through the programs that we do. Much of what we do requires public participation or public information distribution. So we have a very large distribution list. We try to keep our website as accurate and up to date and informative as possible. We have a Facebook page, so we're constantly pushing information out, but also it's not just about pushing that information out, it's about gathering information from all of you as well. So that's something that I would encourage you to do, is visit our website, look what's happening, what's going on, and how do you provide input to that. We have a 9-member staff. We do an awful lot through our agency with just 9 people. These people are absolutely amazing. They are experts in their areas. Many of them have been with the agency for 15 to 20 plus years, and they are experts in their area. And what I like to say is, us as an organization, we are a source of information when it comes to our programs. And if you have questions about that, reach out to us. And if we don't know the answer to your question, we know where to go to get it. So that's what I pride myself in with our organization. Our staff members are phenomenal, just amazing people and so dedicated to what they do. And with that, do we have any questions?
How can we help Muskegon Heights help the roads?
We are actually, yes, we are working with Muskegon Heights and have been working with Muskegon Heights for quite a long time now. Last year, we helped, there's a whole coalition of organizations surrounding Muskegon Heights, working with them on the roads, specifically Broadway. We helped them get state dollars to write a federal grant. That was they submitted last year, they were not successful, but we did feedback and found out how to strengthen the grant application and resubmit it again this year. So hopefully that And I know a large portion of the funds to redo Broadway have been secured, and the Heights is already moving forward with that, but this is just some tweaks and beautification that can happen as well along that. But we are working with, they sit on our transportation committees, and plus 30 years plus. That's what with infrastructure, it's not a quick fix. It's so expensive, and it takes a lot of planning and a lot of time to move the needle.
If you could just briefly describe the Muskegon Watershed Partnership, how you guys have been involved with that, both through Kathy and now through Fallon.
Yes, absolutely. So the Muskegon Lake Watershed Partnership is the local public advisory council that was created when Muskegon Lake was identified as an area of concern. That is a group of volunteers that have been meeting monthly since that happened in the 80s to, one, identify the beneficial use impairments, and then how do we move forward to correct that. Back in, I want to say, the early 2000s, maybe 2005-ish, Wimsey became staff, basically, to the Muskegon Lake Watershed Partnership. They get a grant from the state to help kind of manage that process of the area of concern. And we, as are the fiduciary of that grant, it comes to us, and we work through or with the Muskegon Lake Watershed Partnership, providing technical support and as staff to those committees. And we were the recipient of many of the grants that were made at the federal level to do the construction restoration work around Muskegon Lake.
The delisting of Muskegon Lake seems to me to be one of the most significant projects or occurrences in the life of our community in decades. And so congratulations on that. Are there plans for when that happens? Will there be a community-wide celebration?
Oh, there's going to be a big party.
Feel like there should be. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've already been talking about that. We want the Muskegon Lake Watershed Partnership really to be the lead in that, because they're the dedicated group of local volunteers that have made that happen. But we're happy to be a very active part of that party and plan to do a lot of celebration.
It should involve music.
I agree. I'll reach out to you.
During your presentation, you often mentioned programs that were funded by the federal government or interactions with the federal government in compliance with acts and laws, or, for example, waiting for the federal government to approve the delisting of Muskegon Lake. Are you seeing changes? And how are they affecting you?
Yeah, a lot. We are probably more than 80% of our funding comes from the federal government. So when the federal pause was announced, it was 18 hours of sheer panic. Amanda did a ton of spreadsheets on this scenario and that scenario. We actually did an analysis of the impact that would happen. And I don't want this to be political. This is just the facts. For our agency directly, this fiscal year alone would be $10 million between grants that have already been committed, grants that have been applied for and received, but there's no contract yet, and then grants that we were planning to apply for. On the transportation side alone, that would have been $70 million of transportation dollars not coming to our community. And then for economic development and other programs, that was probably about another $3.5 to $5 million. So in total, about $85 million. And you think about that, that's just our little piece of the world, just little West Michigan and our agency and the dollars that come into our community because of what we do as an agency. And you think about all of the other dollars that come into this community that we're not involved in. That's a lot of money. And so we absolutely are keeping our finger on the pulse of what's going on. We're doing contingency planning. But yeah, there's a lot of unknown. We have a lot of partners that we work with at the federal level in different agencies. We know some of them are gone. they've been laid off. So I don't know how those programs that they worked with are going to happen moving forward. So it's a huge impact. And right now we've got our seatbelts on and figuring out what we're going to do.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Aaron, thank you very much. Great program, great organization. When I was practicing, I was associated with it and was really impressed with everything that you're doing. As far as an honorarium, we contribute to Shelter Box, which is a disaster relief global organization that partners with Rotary International at disaster sites. So we contribute that for your honorarium and appreciate your time.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mike, would you put up the Red Star graduates slide? Ginny Sprague helps us with, and Doug Wood maintains a spreadsheet that helps us to provide this every quarter after the quarter is completed. But these are the Red Star graduates. You can see them: Marianne Darnell, Gabe Gerlach, Jillian Pasteur, Carla Flanders, Stacy Gomez, and Tim Tuthell. And now they could have already done this, but you can remove your Red Stars. And there are a few people who at times didn't take their Red Stars off because they were getting so much attention. So you are welcome to do that. And would you go to the next slide, which are the new members for the last quarter? So the new members for the last quarter is, you can see their names: Lisa Gaddy Arnold, Patrick O'Brien, Emma Schroeder McClintock, Kat Hyder, and Greg Sisko. And quite a few of them are here today. So let's give them a word. Got lots of slides here. The next slide is our birthday slide. And Elaine Stoffen and Kathy Brubaker Clark, I know at least one of them's here, so let's give them a round of happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And your friendly reminder, contribute to the Caring Connection with $10 if it's your birthday. If it's not your birthday, you can still do that. And because it goes to a very good program. At this time, our spotlight today is Nancy McCarthy, Muskegon Rotary's second female president, and we're getting some of her observations and experiences, if you would, Mike.
Good morning. I'm Nancy McCarthy, and I have been a Rotarian since 1989. Well, in 2002, I followed Bob Skolnick, but I really had a great experience as the club president. I did not feel any resistance whatsoever. I was the second woman president at that point. Sue Wieringo had gone before me. And I just felt like it was a good year. It was very bittersweet, however, because it was also the year that I lost my beloved husband, Rich, after 33 years. Complications of a liver kidney transplant, and so that was a very difficult time for me and for my family, and I really felt supported by my Rotary family, and to this day I'm grateful for that. I think the club is very open to women. I think at this point we have about 47% female membership. Back in the day I was only the third woman in Rotary, and actually, there were only two of us in '89 because Pat Johnson never attended a meeting, so it was really Sue Wieringo and I. And so, there were people at that point in time that didn't feel women should be admitted to the club, but for the most part, people were always very respectful, and that if there was any animosity, it wasn't showing. I think it's important for our club to continue its efforts in the social justice arena. Given the current political climate, that may prove difficult, but certainly we can in our own community do what we can to make our club the most welcoming club. And I think we've got a little ways to go there, We do have quite a bit of diversity in our club right now, but I think, being invited to the dance is one thing, but then if you're never asked to dance, you don't feel very welcome. So we need to work on our welcoming.
Well, thank you. At this time, we'll turn next to the announcements. So we have a two or three or so that have asked to give an announcement. They'll be coming forward. They can come forward now. Just a few items here. There's no rewind meeting tonight. The next meeting will be next Thursday. Really important to note that it will be in the vault area at the Core Plaza, not at Unruly where we've been handling it in the past. So let's first call on you, Meredith.
You get to go first when you stand on the president's right hand. So March Madness brackets are full. Thank you to 48 brave Rotarians. You'll be getting an email from me with the brackets coming out on Selection Sunday. So I believe it's in the early afternoon, late evening when they start making the announcements. And good luck to all of our contestants.
And Meredith, when they write out their checks, they make it out to the Muskegon Rotary Foundation. And are they supposed to hand those to you, or can they send them into the post office box? There's a QR code. Or QR code? Okay, thank you. Let's see. Roger.
Hello again, everybody. Roger Morgenstern, on your table, and thanks to Greg Borgman, I've already put them to work. We've got flyers on the table. I mentioned this last week. We have a joint service project with the Grand Rapids Rotary Club on Saturday, March 29th. And this will also be in the room. This is a slightly updated flyer. It says where we're going to be going afterward for our social activity. And there is a QR code on here. We were talking last week, and actually Dave and I had a meeting with the Grand Rapids Club on Monday. This QR code, we're creating a sign-up genius for this. So if you click on the, or if you, hover, is my daughter Emily here to help me with this? No. You can sign up via the QR code. Kim is also going to be sending out a sign-up genius, and I think maybe tomorrow or soon with I'll get you the flyer. Yeah. Roger, got to do what Kim tells you. I'm learning that as the president nominee. Anyway, you'll see a sign-up genius with a flyer attached. It'll also be in the Rim this coming week. So we're hoping for a great turnout Saturday, March 29th in Grand Rapids. Thank you.
Dave Alexander, President-elect. I have been preparing for our 2025-26 Rotary year, which starts July 1. As part of that preparation, I will start sending out emails tomorrow, Friday, to roughly 35 committees, projects, and events to verify the chairs, co-chairs, vice chairs' willingness to continue serving the club in that capacity. In addition, the Finance Committee will be asking for budget requests for the next fiscal year. I ask that those emails be returned to me by April 1st. Reach out to me if we need to talk, and thank you for your service above self.
Hello, friends. Irma with the Social Events Committee. I welcome all of you Tuesday night to the Career Tech Center. We're actually partnering with them for an after-hours event. I am delighted to announce that the culinary students will be preparing the appetizers. The criminal justice students will be protecting our cars and all entryways. And the sign-up genius is already out there, so please find it in your email and come join us. It is Tuesday, the 18th, 5:30 to 7. I want to go just to taste the food, so hope to see you there.
Good afternoon. Hi, Tim. Good afternoon. Okay. Just checking. I'm Tim Lipan, and today I am representing Brianna Scott. We look alike? We dress alike? No. Hey, I want to point out this banner to you. The home club of the district governor is Muskegon, and that is Brianna Scott. So, also, we are the host club for the district conference. It'll be here at the Frohenthal Center, and I'm here today to talk to you and encourage you to join us at that event. There's a flyer on your table I'd like to call your attention to. It looks like this, so check that out, and it's got a QR code. I don't know how they work, but the date is May 3rd and 4th, and it's at the Frohenthal Center. Some of the highlights include panel discussions, breakout sessions, networking opportunities. An internationally known illusionist will be sharing his talents with us. There's a dance party. It's quite a event that we are planning here on that weekend. And we're encouraging as many Rotarians from Muskegon to attend. Since we're the host, Brianna's a district governor, I think we owe it to her to show up, show our interest, and I'm sure you'll find these panel discussions and these breakout sessions very interesting. They go beyond just Rotary. As I told you last week, some of you nonprofit execs especially, there's fundraising presentations, change presentations, things like that. So check that out, please. Now I would like to call on President Tim Arter for a special announcement regarding the district conference.
The board approved a budget adjustment to enable some people to get a discount or an incentive to sign up. And that we will have, the incentive is for $100. The registration, you may know, is $175. For any of the individuals who have never attended a district activity or a district event, you can sign up and the club will reimburse you $100 of the $175. Now the catch is the board approved 10 of those $100 incentives. So you need to get on and do it soon because somebody else will beat you to the punch. Okay, so what you need to do is go on, sign up, pay the $175, contact either myself or Christy Nagengast, and she's waving her hand there, and just to let us know that you signed up, and between Christy and I will be keeping track of those until we reach that those 10 registrations. So we'll be watching that. So get in, get it done, so that it will only cost you for a weekend's activity $75 if you follow that route. Again, it's people who have not attended a district event in the past.
Roger again, I'm back. Just wait till I'm president. I've been to a couple of district conferences. I remember going with one Bill Wacksterman and Larry Wright up north, and we survived. But what I wanted to let you know, it is such a great experience. It really gives you a taste of what Rotary International is about. And as President Tim said, if you're a first-time attendee, we'll knock $100 off. You know, a $75 night, it's a pretty cheap date, to be honest with you. And it's a great, great event. I'm excited that it's here in Muskegon. I've been to 2 district conferences and I learned so much. And it's really one of the reasons why I've probably gotten into leadership with Rotary. So please, I hope you can join us here in Muskegon first part of May. And if you haven't been before, get with Tim and Christy. We'll take $100 off. So it's a little bit more complicated than that, but they're the CPAs. I'm not. So thank you. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. You're welcome to bring a spouse Saturday night. So you can actually talk about a cheap date. You can bring your spouse. And I think that's 75. Thank Brianna and Kathy are back, or Aslan, Brianna's mom are back there. And yeah, $75. That's a cheap night at the Frohenthal, a great world-renowned magician, easy for me to say. So please join us here downtown Muskegon, first part of May. Thank you.
One more teaser is that that magician toured with Michael Jackson. So he is a quality guy. So for $75, having a meal and get the you'll get to see somebody who's traveled with other great artists. So, okay, thanks on that. Let me make sure. Okay, Bill Erickson. Raffle time.
Okay, for $5, we're going to let our esteemed speaker. Can I pick my own? No. And the last 3 digits are 276.
276. 276.
Scanning. Going once. Going twice. Gone. And the last 3 digits are 227.
227. $305 for $10. $20. 282.
Wouldn't you have rather sat at this table? Okay, we're going to take a vote.
Wow. Okay, next week program will be for Rotarians who will be reflecting on coping with the current social stress. So that's next week. You'll be hearing from Rotarians, and I know some of the individuals involved. Will be a great program, so please come. Let's please rise to recite the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.